Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zero to Leader, written by Chris Webber, narrated by Sarah Coney. For the last 7 years, Sudhir Venkatesh has been deeply involved in one of the most notorious Chicago street gangs, the Black Kings. The Black Kings are one of the most notorious gangs on Chicago's south side with more than 250 members. The Black Kings are deeply involved in Chicago's crack cocaine trade as well as prostitution. The Black Kings reside in the Robert Taylor Homes Project on State Street in Chicago. Sudhir routinely witnesses drug deals, violence, and threats. But will he wear to stay with the gang and experience these violence and threats firsthand from the gang? Has he bit off more than he could chew? Sudhir comes to expect the violence and drug deals made in his presence, but perhaps it's not the illegal activities that surprise him, but the legal things that the gang does for the tenants of Robert Taylor to earn their trust and stay on their favorable side. One high-level member of the gang said this to Sudhir when asking them questions about their role in the gang. Quote, "You need to understand that the Black Kings are not a gang. We are a community organization responding to the people's needs." And end quote. How did Sudhir, a college student studying his PhD in sociology at the University of Chicago, come to be one of the prominent members of a Chicago street gang? Well, Sudhir actually was invited to do a study on how Black people live day to day who are poor. Wanting to wow his professors, he ventures into the heart of Chicago's gang territory to go door to door asking residents to complete a survey of how they felt being black and poor. Sudhir actually wasn't intending to study the gang. He was planning to study the people within it. Perhaps Sudhir was too naive to see the stupidity in venturing into the heart of gang territory, but he did it anyways, and because of this, he nearly got himself killed. When he approached the Black Kings clubhouse, he made a very awkward encounter with the low-level gang members. He asked them to complete his survey, but the gang members just laughed in his face. They accused Sudhir of being a rival of a Mexican gang, and as a result, he was held hostage for 24 hours. After seeing that he was no longer a threat and not a member of this gang, the leader of the Black Kings, JT, said this to Sudhir, quote, "You should really live with people before you ask them questions," and end quote. JT was referring to Sudhir's survey, and what JT just said to Sudhir took it as an invitation to experience life in the gang. So he returned the next day, beer in hand, giving it out to the gang members, and because of this, JT gave him a shot, and from there, he was JT's sidekick, recording down everything that he learned from the experience. Being sidekick of one of the most notorious Chicago street gangs, Sudhir had to cut class routinely in order to hang out with the gang. The one problem was he didn't share all the information with his professors, and they started to get worried about him. But Sudhir would routinely give the professors just enough information in order for them to be satisfied of his whereabouts. With this, Sudhir gained more insight into the gang and eventually helped him in his assignment for school.